Greetings, fellow time travelers. Welcome back to the Prologue world. We get to start off in the new house now. I get to live here now. I'm so happy about this. This is going to be the first episode after the 200-day world tour. This house is officially complete now. I need a sign. I need to put up a sign to commemorate the completion of the house on the over one of the doors. This is probably the main entrance is probably like over here. Down here is the main entrance. But anyways, that's not how I intend. I planned on doing the introduction. I kind of botched the introduction again. What I meant to say is, welcome to the Prologue world, and please join me today on an adventure, on an exploration of the existential absurdity of what I'm doing, of life, and of this series. Because I'm going to be talking about existential absurdity today, a little bit. I'm not going to delve really deep into the topic, but I've been having a hard time figuring out, like just trying to. I think about this a lot. I'm trying to have a good understanding of why I'm doing what I'm doing, of why I'm recording these videos, because I feel like I need to have that figured out to be doing I feel like that's it's important to have that figured out. If you're going to do this, like, you need to understand why you're doing this, right? All right, let's go kill this skeleton real quick. Like, I want to know. I feel like if you don't know why you're doing something, then there's a problem. You should feel an urge to have an understanding of why you're doing what you're doing. Otherwise, there's a strange, like, I have a great discomfort with it, with like in work settings too. I don't like feeling like I don't understand what I'm doing, or I don't understand the reasons behind why people are asking me to do what they're having me do. Like I feel like I insist on understanding the reasons behind things. So I think a lot about the reasons behind why I'm doing this, because it's an absurd thing to do. Like, it is fairly strange. What am I doing? I need to focus on. I need to make signs. I think I might have signs. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get signs. I might have signs left over in the house. I'm not going to go over. I mean, in the starter house. This is my house now. Is this house? This is now my house. So when I talk about the house, like I'm switching over. I got to move in. I got to move all of this stuff in from this chest into the house. I mean, gameplay wise, I'm going to be chopping trees. I really need to restock on my wood supplies, and I'm going to start actually storing things in the chests in the house, and it sort of gradually move in. I only need a couple of these, just one of these signs. I still have all of this stuff in this chest, and then I'm going to move in. Oh, there they are. Our buddies, our pillager buddies, looking for a rematch. I just fought them off in the episode right before the world tour. I fought them off, and they're already back. It didn't take them very long. Anyways, I need to put up a sign over here. What is it? What's it gonna say? Is this what this is? The Minehead farmhouse is what it's called. And I basically completed it right on day 200. Like, it was, I was still doing finishing touches right up until the very end, leading up to the world tour episode, which was way too long. I didn't realize it was like over 50 minutes long. Jesus, it was almost an hour-long world tour of just me going over this one house, just touring a house tour. All right, what is this sign gonna say? There we go. There's a sign. It's called the Minehead Farmhouse. What I called this. What I named this building. Nope, that does not fit in one line. There we go. And I like to have the day in parentheses for some reason. I'm not sure why the parentheses are there, but that's kind of how I've been doing it. Yeah, I'm gonna just call it day 200. That's the day. I do feel like that was basically the day that it felt complete. Right up, it's kind of an even number. Seems like too much of a coincidence, right? But I'm pretty sure that's what the day that I will associate with the completion of this house. And there we go. I think that's a good sign. Minehead farmhouse. Yeah. All right, let's roll with that. And yeah, I'm all set to. I don't need to carry the bow and arrows around on me. I guess I need them if I'm gonna go fight off. Yeah, let's go fight off these savages, these barbarians. I'm not sure. Are they undead? They have like really pale skin. I do want to engage them every time I see them, just because I'm very mad about having died in my second death went to these guys, to the pillagers. Do I have a spare shield? I do not have a spare shield in here. That's strange. I wanted a spare shield. I guess I am gonna go back to the starter house for that spare shield. I hope they're still there. Did they just despawn already? They keep despawning before I get to them. Oh yeah, there they are. There they are. Let's go. I want a shield, a spare shield, just in case my first one breaks on me while I'm engaging with them, because that happens sometimes. If it ends up being a lengthy fight, a long fight, I only have 6 bread on me and 3 apples. I think that's going to be enough food in case it ends up being a prolonged fight. I don't know how many there are. But anyways, let's try not to die today. Oh, and it's almost nighttime. Well, I don't really want to engage them if it's almost nighttime. That's frustrating. Is there anything else? Yeah, let's just do some farming, I guess, while I'm just waiting for the sun to go down. All right, I got to relax and... Oh, yeah. A satisfying moment. Yeah, let's, I guess I can make more bread for myself while I'm thinking about it, because I do need that bread. Gosh, I hope they don't despawn by the time I get to them. I'm already kind of taking... I guess those are the same guys. Those are probably the same guys that showed up during the World Tour. I remember seeing them in the World Tour, and they kind of just went off into that direction. They're even in the same freaking spot where they killed me. The last time. You know, this is already the second, their second intrusion. The second time that they're... There they are. Wow. They're hiding right underneath the hill. Very sneaky of them. Dang. This is already the second time that they're interrupting my videos since they killed me. And so I did already fight them off once, but there were only 4 of them. Now there's 6 of them. Now, like, these guys are no joke. They're actually... Let's look at them from up here, actually, to see which ones are carrying the enchanted bows. You should go for the enchanted crossbow bearing guys first. So I see one guy. So that's the guy that I need to go first. Gosh, I kind of want to draw them out onto open space. So I'm going to try to go into this direction to get them out here. And then the plan of action, if things go wrong, if I find myself low in health, I'm going to run in this run towards the starting area, just because I have an easy to follow path in that direction, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to be able to follow me all the way there. And then I'll try to get to the water from there. I do have a boat on me, right? I do have a boat on me. All right. And I have a bow now. So I should be able to. I might end up utilizing and taking advantage of that, using that. The iron axe, it's kind of low on it's not fully healed axe. It's already kind of low on points, whatever, you know, the health of the axe. Oh crap, I forgot to. I didn't replant. Oops. My mistake. Let me do that real quick. Alright, and here, I'm going to try not to die today. Trying to fight these guys off a second, because I need to engage them every time, because I do want to prove myself that I'm capable of fighting them off, so I am going to keep trying to do that. I'm hoping not to die a freaking 3rd time, because I haven't built the obelisk yet. I haven't built the 2nd obelisk yet to commemorate my 2nd death. It's going to be just... I'm going to be extremely upset with myself if I die a 3rd time before I even build the obelisk, the 2nd obelisk. So that's going to be very frustrating. I'm going to the plan is to go down there, strike one guy, the guy, to make my first strike. Maybe try to kill the guy with the enchanted crossbow, and then just go right back up here, and then try to heal myself. Maybe I'll just escape right into the house and heal myself in the house after the first engagement, and then Or to the main house, to the farmhouse. I'll just run there, heal myself inside of there. Just because I'm pretty sure you can take a few hits when you're just starting out, and then I'll be down to like half my health already. All right, let's go. I'm ready. Oh shit! Jesus Christ! And there they go. Well, that wasn't bad. They only hurt me once. I did land one strike onto them. They did hurt each other a good bunch of times. That wasn't bad. I don't feel like I need to go run away yet. And they're not following me for some reason. They're not chasing me. That's strange. Where's the guy? There's the guy with the enchanted crossbow. I don't think I landed a good hit. I might have landed one hit, but I don't think it was aimed at the right guy. I kind of got distracted with how many of them there were. There were so many of them. Jesus Christ, this shit is scary as fuck. Are you guys in a line? Oh, there we go. They're all in a line together. Okay, so there's that guy. There's that guy. That was the guy with the enchanted crossbow. So now there's just these two. And they are not enchanted. Alright. Great. Oh, that guy's enchanted. That guy has an enchanted crossbow. See what I mean with the shields? They can break your shields if you're not careful. He's enchanted, but he's not a piercing enchantment. Wow, and that was it. Wow, alright, I fought them off. There we go. I didn't even have to run away. Well, that's just wonderful. That's great. Now we can listen to this relaxing end of the fight music. The fight has resolved. I fought them off. Whew. Okay. Well, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too hard. I still haven't really moved in yet. I'm still just gonna stash everything in here. Where are my other? I guess I have the other bad omen potions in that other chest, in my construction chest. I guess I might as well stash everything there, because I'm kind of I'm freaking in between everything. Remember, like my chest, my inventory is all disorganized because I'm kind of still haven't really moved in fully. I'm getting distracted by pillager invasions. There we go. This is where my other bad omen bottles are. I guess I haven't really fought many of them off yet. I guess I thought I had more ominous banners in the starter house. I guess I'm thinking of other worlds my off-screen worlds. All right, let's actually get into some tree chopping. That's what I wanted to do, and let's get to the topic of the day. I meant to talk about existential absurdity and trying to figure out why I'm doing this, because it's not clear to me, guys. Like I have a hard time figuring out why I'm doing this. I should have dropped off my bow and stuff before I went down here. Well, that's all right. Damn it. I'm sorry. I gotta go drop my bow off. I'm gonna need more inventory space. It's gonna get filled up really fast. So yeah, I want to talk about why I'm doing this. I'm confused. I'm not sure why I'm doing this, because that bothers me. I feel like you're supposed to be, if you're doing Minecraft, if you're making videos of yourself and putting them out on the internet, whatever kind of videos they are, like you should have a clear understanding of why you're doing it. Because I think it's probably a bad sign, kind of a red flag. If you find yourself not knowing why you're doing something, you should be concerned about that. Especially if you're just exposing your inner monologue. Oop, wow, I thought that was another pillager. No, that's just a cow. That's just a cow. Good to know that there's a cow over here. Especially if you're exposing your inner monologue to the world and not even knowing why you're doing it. That's a bit of an issue. You should try to understand why, to come to terms with why you're doing things, why you're making Minecraft videos on YouTube. And yeah, my initial reason why I started the channel was because I wanted to talk about philosophical matters, and I wanted to create a world, to create a platform where I can talk about philosophical matters. That was the whole point. But I've kind of failed in that regard, on two counts, in two ways. First, I find myself kind of demotivated, not really having the... There's my hose. I don't feel sufficiently motivated to actually script things out. And it's not a matter of laziness either. Like, I do feel like I'm going to be... Like, I look forward to actually doing this later on once I do feel healthier. I mean, my lack of motivation just comes from poor health, from having the chronic inflammatory response syndrome, which is kind of a mouthful to say. I kind of want to... I think from now on, I'm just going to call it chronic because I can't say SIRS either because people aren't going to know what that is, and I don't want people getting confused with SIRS with an S because there's that. But anyways, I try not to talk about every episode either, but yeah, I got the chronic inflammatory response syndrome going on, and one of the effects is of course, you're going to be kind of depressed from it, just because it's discomforting to always feel the inflammation effects. Your muscles are always kind of achy. It's not. I mean, it's not super bad for me. Like, it gets a lot worse. It's currently it's like just a kind of a dull achiness. So it's not like I'm in horrible pain, but it's persistent. It's frustrating that it's persistent, and it has a demotivating effect on you. It's hard to do difficult things, to do things that you're not used to doing, to do creatively, the things that, like, I find it's hard to write. Like, writing the video descriptions that I write, even though they're pretty simple, that's kind of the hardest part for me for doing these videos. So scripting out, trying to do what I initially intended to do, which is to script out, to do kind of a video essays, but still improvise them. Okay, I kind of wanted to. What I had in mind was I was going to script out stuff to say about some philosophical topic, and then I was going to kind of remember, just because it helps you remember everything if you script it out. So I wasn't going to just read off the script. I was still going to just do record live footage, unedited footage. Like, I don't want to dub. I don't want to do any editing. I don't want to dub the footage over with the commentary. So I don't want to do that style of video essay. I want to do improvised video essay where, like, I just remember everything. I do script it out, and I just bring it. I just remember. I memorize essentially, sort of like an actor. Just have it remembered so that I know what I need to say from the script, and then so that I don't have to look at the script, so I can focus on the gameplay and talk about what I wanted to talk about. But I never followed through with that. I never did that, and I find myself too demotivated to be doing that for the time being. So at least until sometime in the future, I don't know when I'm actually going to do that. But I at this point, I don't really intend to be doing that very much for the time being, until I get better, until I get healthier. I'm kind of just... Now that I know that it's SIRS, when I started the channel, I didn't know about SIRS, about the chronic inflammatory response syndrome. It's something that I discovered it after I started the channel, and I still haven't actually started treatment with SIRS because I'm still in exposure. You're supposed to get yourself out of exposure first, and I'm still living in the same apartment where I am exposed to some of these biotoxins, which are very common. It's not like, I'm not saying that I'm afflicted, that I'm a victim of some kind of injustice. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's very common for apartments to have some mold in them. I mean, every apartment has a little bit of it, but it's a matter of reducing that exposure down to a level that your body can naturally detox from without having to invoke antibodies, because that's a problem with people with SIRS. We can't make antibodies to some of these biotoxins. But you still have the innate immune response system and the natural detox system that does gradually detoxify from these biotoxins, but without antibodies. But it happens very gradually. So you need to reduce your exposure to where it's like a manageable level for your body. So I still haven't really done that. And then after you do that, then you can get onto the treatment plan and take what are called binders that help you detox from these biotoxins. But I didn't really mean to get carried away talking about SIRS. I wanted to. I was just trying to explain why why I'm not particularly motivated to follow through with the initial premise of this channel, which is kind of a bit of a misfortune. But at the same time, I just have a longer like I'm just going to stretch this out longer. It's just going to be I'm going to be further into the game by the time I actually start doing these video essays. So I do intend to actually shift the content, the style of content that I make is eventually, I do plan on eventually shifting over to doing more of these, to doing video essay type stuff. And I might even attempt editing. That's another thing that I just do not have the motivation for it. Although I do understand that absolutely, if I want to actually see subscriber growth, I'm going to have to edit. Unless I get extremely good at this improv thing. That also is an option. Like I haven't completely given up on this, and I might not. I'm not undecided at this point if whether or not I'm actually going to edit eventually one day. If I will, it's going to be a long time from now. There's definitely no time, not anytime soon will I do this. But that does float. Excuse me. That idea does float around in my mind. Ooh, this tree really needs to be cut down as well. Let's do that. But today I wanted to talk about the absurdity of this state of affairs, of not really understanding why I'm doing what I'm doing and just going along with it anyways. It's kind of absurd. It's you shouldn't be doing. If you find yourself in that circumstance, you stop and think, because it's not a good. It's kind of a sign that you're getting carried away. Doing stuff that you might regret later on, because you should feel a sense of sovereignty over what you're doing, meaning that you can explain yourself. Even if it's not even if the explanation doesn't entirely make sense, even if it's kind of like an irrational, oh man, I should have brought some shears with me to replace the canopy up here, because I think this is a fairly decent tree. I kind of want to keep this tree, but I'm going to need to replace that canopy block. So I do think it's important to be aware of the reasons why you're doing what you're doing. Just in general, at all times. To feel like you're sufficiently goal-oriented, like you're oriented towards a long-term objective. Even if you're just doing something to relax, if you're doing something just to relax and just to enjoy yourself, you're doing that for the sake of replenishing your motivation for the next difficult thing, the next task, the next challenging task that you're going to need to do. But you should have a sense of what the objective is for yourself, in the long run and in the short term and in the long term. The objective of the thing that you're currently doing, it should all kind of fit in with this kind of a telescoping series of objectives. Like you do this in order to be able to do that, in order to be able to do something else, in order to eventually have kids, I suppose, and be able to. I mean, for me, my ultimate objective is to have kids and then to purchase housing for my kids. I think if that's the ultimate super cool parent thing to do, is to purchase housing for your kids, and I would really like to do that. And I would like to buy them houses that are next to my house. I think it's kind of a taboo thing to do, but I think it's really cool to try to recreate the family tribe from the prehistoric, to recreate the prehistoric social atmosphere of the tribe dynamic. So like I think it would be cool to try to get my kids to want to live nearby, to remain nearby. They'd probably be happy to do that if I just purchased them a house that's next to my house. That'd be great. So and then hopefully they'll want to do the same thing for their kids, and then there's going to be a bit of a family tribe being created, being cultivated gradually over many generations. That's kind of a long-term objective for my life. But in order to get around to that, I had to heal from SIRS. That's kind of that's really been a major setback for me my entire life. I mean, I've been feeling sick my entire freaking life. It's not like something that's just like, it's not like I've just recently been exposed to some mold and I'm now in recovery from that. No, this is something that I've always been sick from, and I just now figured out what it was, and it's nice. But like recovering from SIRS, it's such a big, massive undertaking. It takes a very long time. It's been very discouraging that I'm still gonna have to double down on the efforts just to heal, just to be able to get started on the things that I really want to do in life. But for the time being, I decided I had to just kind of take it easy and not stress myself. Just try to avoid stressing myself out as much as I can, and avoid doing. I don't like to force myself to do things that I don't really want to do. Like I'm opposed. I'm opposed to stoicism. I think stoicism is a phony, superficial philosophy, because you should feel an enthusiasm for what you do. You shouldn't need discipline. You shouldn't need this kind of disciplinary sense of forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do. You should very willingly, you should find yourself wanting to do things because you want to. I mean, doing things because you want to do them, and not because you think that they're the right thing to do, and even though you don't want to do them, you're forcing yourself to do it. I don't think that's if you're a healthy person, that won't be the case for you. You're going to feel naturally motivated, and doing the difficult things in life, you're gonna be sufficiently motivated to where it's not hard for you to get yourself to do them. You'll just you're gonna have this impulse to do those things. So I think I don't align myself with the stoic, with the conservative stoicism, with I think it's also kind of a conservative, a common conservative philosophy, the sense of the rugged individualism philosophy of asserting your independence, being able to just cultivating your capacity to be self-sufficient and independent, and getting yourself to and taking care of yourself, and of being able to do what you need to do to provide for yourself and all of that. I think there's a limit to the extent that we can do that, especially if you're having to deal with a very long-term chronic illness that can really set you back, and you might encounter extremely difficult times in your life. If you're struggling with addiction, for example, that can be such a heavy setback that you might find yourself in a spot that you can't quite recover from on your own, in which you really need financial assistance. And I do believe that family relatives ought to feel like it's the role of family members to provide that assistance until family members also go broke and run out of money. Here's the thing: we very strongly emphasize we've developed this culture of saving up for retirement, and I think that really shifted the dynamics of people's sense of the extent to which they feel like they should be responsible for each other, for their family members, because now people feel like they have to prioritize their retirement savings before they share their financial resources with their family members. And that's not like it. I don't think that there is anything wrong with that. Like, that's an entirely respectable financial, sense, sentiment. Like I can sympathize with that sentiment. That it makes sense that people feel insecure about having enough money to make sure that they're well taken care of when they're in their last couple of decades of life. But at the same time, I think that it's more admirable if you were to consider the thought experiment of trying to decide, if you were to consider which one is more admirable, the person that, oops, I thought that was my fence. Oops, I just want a light up here. I just want to put a light up here, even though this is already too dangerous. You should not do this, guys. Don't try this at home. A creeper can spawn in the dark right around me and come blow me up right before I actually sleep. It's totally a risk to do that. So I really should actually avoid doing that. I should have walked No, I want to leave that up there. I should have actually walked back to the house. I don't know why I did that. That was a risky move. So anyways, where I'm going with this, it's entirely respectable. Like, I don't think it's wrong to have that mentality and to feel like, you know what, like you definitely don't owe your family members that kind of financial assistance, especially if they're distant family members. If you're a parent, you still, like, I do feel like since our society so it's so normalized to prioritize your retirement savings over your children's welfare, that even for parents, most parents do not feel inclined to prioritize their kids over I ran out of faxes, over their retirement savings. I'm going to do that, because here's the thing: if you consider the which one, I like to think about it in terms of which is the cooler approach, which is the more admirable approach. Is it the parent that sacrifices their retirement savings to help their kids heal from chronic illness, or the parent that feels like it's more important to ensure that they're going to be comfortable in their retirement, that's more important to them, and their kids ought to instead cultivate a sense of personal responsibility, and it's on them to try to heal themselves, to help themselves. And if they can't do that, then they should turn to the government for assistance, for support. If they can't do it, it's not their parental responsibility to make sure that if your own personal capacity to help yourself falls through, it's not considered the parental responsibility to continue supporting you into adulthood. I mean, maybe if you're still young, if you're still like under 18, it's considered a matter of parental responsibility. But beyond that, our standardized societal expectation, there's no expectation of parents to continue providing their kids with financial assistance past into adulthood. But consider the parents that do that do feel themselves obligated, that do feel like they are obliged to continue helping their kids out indefinitely for the rest of their lives, because there are parents that have that mentality where it's like the objective, the point of their lives is to make sure that their kids do well, and that's kind of more important to them than their retirement. Because if their kids aren't doing well, then what's the point? How are they going to enjoy themselves in their retirement? They're not going to be able to even enjoy themselves. So they feel like they do feel like they have to prioritize their kids' welfare before they even consider saving up for retirement. And that's frankly how I intend to the approach I'm going to take. But I can't expect that from I don't think that it's fair to expect that from parents, because most parents don't take that approach, and there's no pressure from society to take that approach, because it's kind of a radical generosity. It's a big sacrifice. It's a big ask to expect parents to do that. It takes a lot of for parents to do that. I mean, it's very admirable for parents to do that. And here's the thing: that's what where I was going with it. It is very admirable for parents to do that. So even if, I do think that the stoic case for what you should leave your kids to their own devices, and you shouldn't be providing your kids with, you should force your kid, enable your kids to have to take care of themselves. But the thing is, and if that falls through, then they should have to go to the government for help. I'm losing my train of thought here, is what's going on. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying. I didn't even mean to talk about this. I was trying to talk about existential absurdity of why I'm doing this, and I kind of got sidetracked on this conversation about parenting. I didn't mean to do that. Where was I going with this? See, I get easily. I lose my concentration very easily, which is kind of frustrating. I need to conclude my thoughts and then end the episode. Jesus, this episode kind of got sidetracked quite a bit, and I'm gonna need to go back out there to chop more trees in the next episode. I'm not done with trees. I need to go chop the trees in that direction as well. I kind of wanted to finish tree chopping over here I need more chop axes. Let's at least I gotta focus on the game on making chop axes, and then I can't focus on more than a couple of things at once. All right, I need more of these for the trees. There we go. And I still got lots and lots of hose. I don't know why I don't really need all of this dirt on me either. This is the dirt chest. I'm thinking like up here. This is gonna be the dirt chest, and this is gonna be the cobble chest. Or, no, I should just have one chest for that stuff. And then once I fill in like a full line of dirt in here, I should go bring... well, by that time, I hope that I'll have more storage space in the basement finished. And then I'll be able to bring, just to have chestfuls of dirt. Because I'll have space for them. But anyways, oh yeah, I remember now. I remember where I was going with this. I was trying to make the case that it's more admirable for parents to prioritize their kids' welfare over their retirement, and I think it's super cool. Like if the parents that are like that, I do think I don't think it's wrong not to be like that. So I don't think that you're a bad parent if you feel like your retirement savings are ultimately more important, are more. Like some people feel like it would be irresponsible not to save for retirement. That no, they can't do that. And then, which one is cooler? Which approach is more admirable? And I would dare say that it is more admirable to sacrifice your retirement savings for your kids' welfare. That's the approach that I would take with parenting. That's kind of what I intend. What I would I don't expect to never have a retirement account because I don't think I'll ever make enough money for that. I think I'll stall out trying to save up for my kids' housing, or try to make sure that I have a bit of a savings in case they need to take like a year off from work to heal from something, because they're going to have my genetics, right? So they're probably also going to be susceptible to the chronic inflammatory response syndrome. But anyways, I wouldn't expect that. Like, I don't think that it's bad parenting not to do that, but I do think that it's good parenting to be trying to do that. And I think it's remarkably admirable when parents do that. And it goes against the grain of stoic individualism. So it is, I guess it would be considered not as conservative of an approach to do that for your kids. But at the same time, I think that it's a matter of parental responsibility. So I think it's like I'm kind of in between conservatives and liberals in the sense that I don't think that the government should be responsible for people if their own devices fall through. And I don't agree that we should be expected to be able to provide for ourselves all the time. I do think that it's acceptable for a person to find themselves... I'm just going to go back to the house and hang out in the rain while I finish my thoughts. I don't think that we can expect... I think it's respectable, and it should be expected that some people are going to find themselves in a circumstance where they can't help themselves out. They can't pull themselves out of their difficult situation by their bootstraps and heal on their own, where they do need help from other people. And I think that the left, the liberals, believe that it should be the responsibility of the government to assist those people with welfare. Whereas the right believes, the conservatives believes that no, it should be primarily it should be up to the individual. That the individual we have to leave them to their own devices. That people ought to exercise self-reliance and should not, like the government should not. They should not rely on the government to bail them out. And then I would make the case that it should be on parents, that it should be on family members to bail people out, that it should be neither, that it's not fair to expect the individual to always be able to do that, and it's also shouldn't be the government's role to do that for people. I think it should be the role of family members. So I kind of, in that regard, I'm kind of ideologically homeless, because I don't fit in with either the conservative rhetoric or the liberal rhetoric in this regard. But that's a topic I did not intend to get into in this episode. Why am I I don't like holding things in my hands at the end of these episodes. I forgot to drop the shield off too. I need to do that too. Anyways, next episode, I'm just going to continue on. I'm going to talk about something else. I have lots of topics I want to talk about. I'm going to hopefully not make it be so rambly. I'm not sure how long this episode is. I kind of lost track of time. I hope it's not like an hour long. It might be like this. Did this turn out to just be an hour-long episode again? I'm not sure. But anyways, I never even really got around to talking about what I intended to talk about. I got carried away talking about parenting. I intended to talk about the absurdity of this behavior, of what I'm trying to do. Because it's weird to me that I'm continuing to do this despite not really having a clarity about why I'm doing this. It's an absurd phenomenon. And I wanted to talk about that. And I didn't really I had a whole index card with things to say about in this regard, on this topic, on this matter. And then I completely just avoided the index card and ended up getting carried away talking about personal responsibility and being sick with SIRS and about about long-term financial plans to be able to provide for my kids and stuff. I didn't mean to. This is kind of the nature of this content, all right? It's organic commentary that I'm sharing the whatever's on my mind, okay? This is just an unfiltered, unscripted monologue of whatever happens to enter my brain at the time of the recording, which is strange. But I feel like perhaps there's a charm to that, and there is. It's. I think that it's it's relatable. Like it reveals a human. A certain human nature that gets edited out in heavily edited style content, which is most content. So I do want to keep doing it like this, and I have more reasons about why I'm going to have to revisit this topic next episode. All right, I got to wrap this up. I got to call it a day. It's a rainy night. It rains so much in this world, doesn't it? But all right, that's it, guys. That's it. I gotta call it a day now, and thank you guys very much for watching this. Let me know if you have thoughts. If you have, are you aiming towards some kind of financial goals as a parent? What kind of approach do you feel do you want to take with your kids? If you want to share that, if you'd be comfortable with sharing that in the comments, please do so. I'd love to have this kind of conversation with people. If you're interested in that. Or with anything. If you have anything to say whatsoever, I'm very happy with any kind of feedback I get. I love to chat with people in the comments. Please, even if it's completely unrelated to what I'm talking about. And on that note, I gotta call it a day. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Shadowlay, my fellows. Shadowlay.